It's time once again for another episode of Comin' At Ya. Comin' At Ya. A podcast about the world of mixed martial arts, boxing, pro wrestling, Comin' At Ya, and heavy metal music. With a slice of comedy for good measure. Comin' At Ya.
That's a professional quality.
And we're back.
Episode 194 of Comin' At You podcast.
Brought to us by
Resp Tattoo. He's starting to surface a little bit more. This is good. We're getting a little bit more resp in our lives.
It's always good to have resp in your life.
Yeah.
Where can people reach him at?
Resptattoo.com. He's actually looking.
Jesus Christ. I love doing that every week.
Fucking cunt.
Go ahead.
Got the heart beating a little fast.
He's looking for a personal assistant because he's really bad at.
Doesn't pay well, though.
Yeah, but I mean, if they want to get into the tattoo game or something like that, or maybe trade work for ink, I don't know. I mean, but he's looking. So just go to resptattoo.com or just find him on various social medias, and he's
Hit him up if you're looking for a job and some tattoos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Also brought to us by Extreme Cage Combat.
XCC is coming up later this week. I just talked to Helen. You're looking good, baby girl. And she took a picture recently where she had these gigantic, beautiful, big tigers in the background of her one of her pictures.
I love tigers.
So do I.
Well, outstanding. So XCC 29 next week, Saturday the 19th at the Philadelphia Armory, Northeast Philadelphia.
That's right.
A lot of good fights on the card. Make sure you come out and see us. Also brought to us by Netflix.
Yeah, I just got the email. We were just talking about this before we went on the air. It's hard to believe because time's flying by, but The Defenders is going to be on in like less than 2 weeks.
I'm not feeling it. And there's one guy, and there's one reason why.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
Yeah, but who cares? He's going to be ancillary character. They won't have him in that much.
Have you watched Van Helsing?
No.
It's awesome.
I don't have time. I want to.
You
but
have the most absurd time out of anybody I talk to.
Really?
You somehow fit all these facts and knowledge and stuff into your head. And hey, did you watch this video? And it's like 1,000 videos.
Hold on.
I could mention any video and you probably watched it.
What time do I have?
I don't know.
Oh, no. You're so convinced. Like, well, what time do I have?
You have to have time to do those things.
What things?
Look up stuff on the internet, read books.
Yeah, I can read before I go to bed. I don't really think that's like having a ton of time to do stuff.
But you can't fit a TV show in?
No. I'd rather be doing things.
You watch about 100 TV shows.
No, I don't.
You watch Game of Thrones?
Okay, that's one. You got 99 more.
You watch... Give me some other TV shows. You watch wrestling? Do you watch WWE Network every week for 3 hours?
Glad you brought that up. This weekend, the final 3 shows of New Japan's G1 Climax 27, don't cut me off, is this weekend. Now, I'm going to tell you why this is special. You've got Okada and Omega.
Is this on the WWE Network?
How dare you?
Well, we're still doing our sponsors.
New Japan World.
Are they sponsoring us?
Yes.
You just skipped right over the sponsor.
Oh, well.
We got some wasabi out of it. It was sweet.
Son of a bitch.
I know. No, I don't watch it. I don't feel like I have a lot of time.
Are you back on your fitness kick?
Yes. Well, I have been.
Well, you got a little bit off it. Let's not lie.
What's that supposed to mean?
It was starting to get noticeable. You were getting a little loose in the.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're a real cunt.
I'm not lying, but I can tell you're back on it. I can see it in your face again. Am I right or wrong?
No,
Am I right or wrong?
You don't fucking put weight on after like missing 3 days.
I don't know.
It's happened.
I didn't see you for a week, so it did look like you gained.
Todd was a little concerned.
I was.
Well, it's gonna be that kind of a show, is it?
It like that bad, but you're back to working out every day.
It's gonna be that kind of a show.
But you're back to working out every day.
Yep.
How's it going?
It's going just
How
fine.
many pounds are you down right now?
80.
80 fucking pounds?
Yeah.
Holy shit. How many are you down?
About 50.
So if we had that bet between you and friend Martin,
He would be winning right now.
you'd be crushing him right now.
It's not even about that.
But it started with that for him.
What it started with
He's
him.
got a picture of you on his mirror.
I doubt that.
It's-
What
I have a picture of
look,
all you on the mirror.
what it starts off with is that I'm sure Martin is just like me in that sometimes you need that extra little, oh man, one of my friends is crushing it and he's exercising, and you know what, maybe I should start doing that too, you know.
Yeah, you just push the envelope a little bit. Get motivated through others.
I can't do the things he does, man, because you do CrossFit.
Yeah.
And I honestly cannot do anything like that, like with dynamic, with a lot of jumping and impact. I can't do any impact. I mean, just doing the elliptical 4 times this week and a hard work, I've got to use my cane right now because I can't walk without it right now. I'm in a lot of pain, like all seriousness, all legit. But whatever, you know, you listen to your body. The only frustrating thing is this. I remember, like, you know, several years back when I was working out and you're trying to combat, I'm sore, I'm tired, I'm lazy, I don't want to do it. And you still have to combat those things, but now it's like, oh, there's also this injury that's never going to go away. You know, if you're just going to talk over me, you know, you're very unprofessional
No,
today.
keep going. I'm sorry.
He was
I feel-
talking
I-
under you.
I feel you both owe me an apology right
I
now.
apologize. I handed him something and I do this. Right? I go, keep it down. Don't look at the paper.
One job.
He goes like this. He goes,
One job.
If I didn't want someone to look at the paper, I would say, don't look at the paper. Not keep it down, which I thought you meant out of the range
no,
of the camera.
No.
You're like that guy in an action movie where you're like, don't look down. And that's the first thing you do.
That's not even close to that.
Let's not scream into the mic, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
That's what we're about to do some talking about right now.
Not looking at it.
But, yeah, we got a lot of sponsors. Episode 194, we're inching up into episode 200. Hopefully we'll have some big things planned for that. Also back on the show today is friend Martin, who I feel like I owe a do-over because the last time he was on, I was not in a very good headspace. But really, Chris did confirm it was kind of his fault because I told him, I said, look, I'm not in a headspace for a show. And he's like, you get your fucking ass out there and you do what I tell you to do.
You're professional.
Professional.
I don't know about that one.
Except you don't get paid.
Are you guys going to do a show next week? I won't be here. I'm going on vacation.
I would prefer not to do it then because I feel like you're part of the team.
Kind of the glue, even.
We were talking, Bullet and I, about your issue with the microphone last week.
Yes, this is a literal and a figurative mic check
A
for
lot of comments for
Tati.
Tati and not being able to hear him. And they said he had one job, and that was speaking to the microphone finally.
We have a couple.
And
We
he
have a
had an
couple
issue.
gripes. Honestly, we have a couple gripes.
So here's what I have. I have a couple pages with tongue twisters. We're going to do the Tati mic check.
We've got the Tati tongue
And
twisters.
and if Todd nails it,
tongue
Todd
twisters.
nails it with no issues. He picks a number on his, and whoever has the sheet of paper with it on it has to do it.
Okay,
If he nails it.
if he nails
But
it.
you can pick the first one for him off your list.
Number 39.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Oh,
Rapid fire, go.
Through 3 trees, 3 fleet.
Drink.
All right.
This is going to get ugly.
This is going to be a drunk cast.
Hold on. You're done. It's over. Friend Martin, select one for Todd.
Off of my list here. Okay, let's.
Talking to the mic, otherwise you're going to get assessed too.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Well, that's kind of long though. Do I really want to be an ass?
Mm-hmm.
Why Bullet did right off the bat.
Bullet
he really
went
sorta
hard in the
did.
paint.
Hard in the paint.
I love you. That's for spelling my name wrong.
That was the theme for my prom.
Pick one real quick.
Go 7. No, 18.
18.
18.
Quickly.
Luke Luck likes lakes. Luke Duck likes lakes. Luke likes
I select number 6.
Give me something to try, huh? All right. Jesus, something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug. Although, theoretically, it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was actually impressive.
God damn.
That was impressive. He dug deep for that, too.
Let's salute him.
Yeah.
We owe you one.
I never seen a guy dig that deep.
Yeah. I felt it was kind
He
of.
was halfway through, and I'm like, he's got to fuck this up at this
It was
point.
It was Rocky-esque in its delivery.
All right, Chris, let's do one easy for you, 2.
Number 2. How can a clam cram in a clean cream cram?
That was supposed to be easy.
I guess I drink, and then you select another one
Ooh,
until
friend-
somebody gets it right.
Friend Martin.
Yes. The fuck?
It's a haunted phone.
Friend Martin.
Yes.
Let's do 17.
17.
So whoever has the sheet of paper does it. Or you just yell out a number. I'm sorry. I screwed up.
Don't you love how Chris just changes the rules
I
in the
didn't
middle
make.
of the game?
I didn't make 4 copies.
You would be the worst serial killer.
So
Just
he
change the rules in
He
the middle
tried
of
to
the
give
game.
Martin 17, but Martin doesn't have that sheet of paper.
Somebody said they like how you're so bossy,
Oh.
Chris.
What's that?
Somebody likes how you're so bossy.
I'm sure they do.
And then someone gave me a good nickname.
It's
the,
a little- it's
the
a little
Todd
sexy,
Father.
Yeah,
The
that was a
Todd
good one
Father?
last week.
Yeah.
Who's got 17? You got 17?
I got 17.
Nail it. Bang it out.
If Stu choose shoes, should Stu choose the shoes he choose?
Ooh.
Damn. I
He's
guess
up
you
in
now.
his
Now I guess
shit.
you got to pick somebody.
You got to pick an. I guess our team picks a number.
I just have a random number.
Yeah.
45.
Yeah, it only goes up to 47.
Bobbity
just so you know.
Bippity bought
No,
a
no,
bat. Bobbity Bippity bought a ball. With his bat, Bob banged the ball, banged it bump against the wall. But so boldly Bobby banged it, then he burst his rubber ball. Boo, cried Bobby. Bad luck ball, bad luck Bobby, bad luck ball. Now to drown his many troubles, Bobby Bippy's blowing bubbles.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
He's
Wow.
like a savant.
And
That
let me
made me
just-
I'm so glad this is all on video.
And let me just tell you something, ladies. Look, it's the mouth is.
Because you know what
All
I'm
night
doing
long.
later? I'm just editing that part out, and I'm putting it out there on the internet.
That's all right.
That was pretty impressive.
I'm going to say
You can pick any number between, or yeah, pick something off your list.
I can just pick any number off my list.
Yeah, the one that you have in front of you.
Oh, there are different lists?
That we have all the 5 pages that you have, but split up between us.
Okay.
49.
Ooh.
Am I doing it?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so when I throw a number out, it's whoever has that number, I guess.
Yes.
All right, 49.
No,
Rory,
no rehearsing, just nail it.
I know. Rory the Warrior and Roger the Warrior were reared wrongly in a rural bury.
Did he say? "Rrrr"?
No, I'll give it to
sound like
him.
he sound like a dog getting hit.
No, I'll give it to him.
Rrrr.
Did he say rural brewery?
Yes.
I
Real,
felt like he paused a lot. In
real
a couple
quick
spots.
side note. My buddy's
God's
brewery, Broken Goblet, was on some list of. They did a 50 states, the best craft beers.
We should
of
do a
the
show
states,
there.
And they were listed for PA as the best craft brewery.
We should do a show there.
Just,
Yeah, so
just 2
congrats to them.
things, actually. Broken Goblet is spectacular. And second, who is Jocko again?
Jocko, the bass player.
Never mind. Moving on.
It's from like 10 episodes ago where we said it like 20 times.
I've got an encyclopedic knowledge of every episode.
Looks like the crowd is a little in awe of your.
Yeah, that's amazing. What's the number? Todd, pick a number.
I'm gonna go 15.
15. That's got to be.
That's me. Oh, for
thank God.
Okay, ready? To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. To sit in solemn silence in a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. A dull, dark dock, a lifelong lock, a short, sharp shock, a big black block. To sit in silence in a pestilential prison and awaiting the sensation from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block.
Holy fucking shit.
Boom.
I think you meant to say big black cock.
I thought that was
thought that
coming
was
out a
gonna
few
come out.
times.
I
I
thought that
thought it
was
was coming
coming.
out.
I thought that was coming.
Well, oddly enough, I thought this might have been from my own diary. Which is why
It
I
got
kinda-
more powerful the longer you went.
Yeah.
that was a powerful
It
rendition.
was a fucking powerful.
I'm a-
Very powerful.
I'm
I
a
was
trained
moved.
actor, you know.
I know now.
I felt it.
I was feeling it too. The energy.
Is it-
Like
are you
if
really?
this was
Or are
a
you making that-
movie,
Well, what do you mean by trained? I did theater in high school and college.
if this
That
was a
explains
movie
so much.
about a guy who had
Fuck your mama.
if if this was a movie about a guy who had potential superpowers, like this was the normal dude, and all of a sudden he just started radiating. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was feeling.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
it was.
I felt it from yours too,
It was transformative.
and Todd's.
It was transformative.
I feel
Very
like
amazing.
I feel like we bonded.
Pick a number. Pick a number, Martin.
Oh shit. We'll go with 9. Who's got 9?
I don't have it.
I
Todd
have-
has 9. Todd has to do it.
Roberto ran rings around the Roman ruins.
That's pretty
really?
good.
Is that the one I gave you?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna go a little harder on it.
Toddy.
I don't have it. I don't even know what the fuck.
You took it to the next level.
Bullet 30. Or who's got 30?
I have 30.
I'll do it though. Give it to me.
Hassock, black spotted hassock, black spot on a black back of a black spotted hassock. That was it. That
All
was
right.
100% it.
Pick one.
will choose number 35.
My list starts at 37.
Mary Mac's mother making Mary Mac marry me. My mother's making me marry Mary Mac. Will I always be? Shit. So Mary.
That's it.
I was doing good on that.
The other thing we were talking about, that was fun. We should do more stuff like these. But we were talking about.
I feel like I'm on Rush Limbaugh. I've got my papers right here.
But we were talking about, and I was kind of talking about Bullet. We were thinking about doing some different stuff for the intro music, and
we're gonna have a different copy read over.
Yeah, maybe a different copyright. And then I started just hammering him with stuff. I'm like, we should get Sir David Attenborough to do it, because there's a guy on Fiverr that'll do it, and there was a couple other ones. So then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, who are some of the easiest impersonations to do? Because you clearly have a couple wrestlers you do. Right?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
So I printed out a list, and you guys can look at that. If you have one on there, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody's got an Arnold.
Yeah, I never really did Arnold because it's so.
Get me to the chopper.
Yeah, I've done that. Okay.
Let me hear it. Get me to the chopper.
You know who's not on here? Who's very easy?
Who?
Gandhi.
He doesn't say anything, does he?
Let me see. Is Mama Cass on here?
Sounds like an Indian.
Like
dude.
everybody's got a Yoda. Todd, let me hear you say something in Yoda's voice.
I don't have one.
Strong behind the mic is he?
Judge me by my size, will you?
Look how well I speak microphone.
One job I had.
Like
that was
like
terrible.
the water boy. I think you have a good water boy, don't you? That's some high quality H2O.
That's some high quality H2O.
Tyson got Christopher Walken, Miss Piggy.
I love
Chris.
I used to be able to do a good Christopher Walken. I
Are,
can't
you,
really do
are
it.
you already selling yourself short on
I
that?
am. I do a good Shaggy.
Now they have Sean Connery on this list. Does that mean like when you're
Chicken not
when you're backhanding a chick? Is that
Well,
like is that
I
the
don't know. Why
impersonation?
don't you say it like Sean?
I don't know.
Excuse me, would you like me to backhand you?
Bruce Campbell.
Gollum is good too.
Gollum, I can't do Gollum.
Me hates the bullets.
Gollum, why are you so upset?
Rick James.
That's Rick James,
bitch.
bitch.
Is that
When
Rick
you
James?
you
or is
gotta
that
find
Dave,
one
Dave
that you
Chappelle
can
doing Rick
do.
James? Yeah.
Donald Duck, Daffy Duck.
That one's could say Captain Sano.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I really do any impersonations. Really, I have
Oh
a
my
voice.
God.
Well, I
You
do.
do
I
Ric
do
Flair.
Ric Flair and Dusty
Yeah,
Rhodes.
Yeah,
Dusty
you
Rhodes.
have more than that. You don't even realize you have them.
Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho's got a.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thinking. Yeah, the cream rises to the cup.
See, he does have them.
Yeah. Martin, you see, you're always thinking, Martin, yeah, but what you don't understand is that I'm coming for your title. Dig it! Yeah, that's Macho. Funny thing about Randy Savage.
We're not staying on a
that
wrestling thing.
that was his voice.
We
That
are
wasn't.
not.
That was not a thing that he
I
did.
felt like he possessed you right there.
He did.
That was pretty good.
Flair's the one that I go to the most, though.
Like besides wrestling ones, who do you have? Like I can
None.
do. I can do.
It all revolves around wrestling.
Shaggy.
He's got good Shaggy.
Shaggy.
Oh, Zoinks.
Like Scoob.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You do a good one there.
That's not bad.
I can't say anything besides that though.
I find whenever I get into any argument with a woman, I'm channeling Ric Flair. And in fact, one time with an ex-girlfriend, I actually did say, "I'm Ric Flair, pal,"
Give me that list.
and she,
Which explains your history with women.
yeah, it does. I have about as much success in relationships as Ric Flair.
But doing an impersonation of somebody's not necessarily with just their voice.
The
Like
physical
everybody's got a
thing.
De Niro, right? You got a De Niro?
No,
You don't fucking De Niro?
I don't think I have a De Niro either.
I do a Marlon Brando.
Todd.
I can do a Marlon
Fucking
Brando.
guy doesn't have a Marlon.
You don't have a fucking De Niro?
You don't have a fucking De
Even a
Niro?
shitty
The
version
fuck?
of
I
a
can
De
do
Niro?
Marlon.
What the fuck?
I can do Marlon Brando.
Let me hear you do Brando.
Todd, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to learn how to talk into your fucking microphone. Because there's a lot of people who are talking to me that say, Todd, he doesn't know how to fucking talk into a microphone.
He'll never be a Todd father.
Hello?
Mr. Bullet,
Yes.
on the day of your son's wedding.
I wish your child is maybe a masculine child.
Todd father. That's gonna be the new name for it. The Todd father.
Yeah.
See, we have so much more we can present to people, and you don't even realize it. Like you've never busted out a good Marlon Brando before.
I would like to introduce you to my very good friend. He's a close personal friend of mine. His name is Tolly. He comes from the old country. He's a good friend of mine. He's a good boy. He doesn't know how to talk into a microphone, but he's a good boy.
Who's the guy that's in A Wonderful Life?
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. Do you have a Jimmy Stewart?
I'm trying to.
I used to be able to do good Jimmy Stewart. They say every time a bell rings, Angel gets his wings. No? No, it needs work.
You do a good Fat Albert.
Hey, hey, hey.
I mean, it's borderline racist.
Fat Albert.
I would never do it, but you do it.
It's the same effort you take to make the yoga. The Yoda voice.
And it's also Louis Armstrong.
Red and yellow,
Yeah.
pink and green, orange and purple and blue.
I don't really. I mean, I think now in today's culture, I think the meme has replaced the impersonation to a degree. Would you agree? Would you agree with that?
Possibly, but there's so much fun in talking. Like I guarantee
Yeah,
you.
but people don't talk. They text.
But we're talking, and I'm
that's-
trying to talk about that and not talk about memes. And now you're switching it to memes like people can't talk to each
I'm
other.
switching gears. Look.
I bet you got a good Stallone. Tell me you don't have a Stallone.
No, I can't do Stallone.
Seriously?
Hey, yo, Adrian.
Evil Paulie.
I don't know.
No, I can't do it. It's just
No, that was lame.
Evil Paulie.
Bully.
You gotta like throw a whole
Paulie.
face in it. How,
I do it better. What was his coach's name? Burgess Meredith? What was
You're a
that?
bum rock. He'll murder you, Rock. You're a bum.
The other one I like to do all the time too is Bubba from Forrest Gump.
I can do.
I got shrimp on a stick.
Hey,
Shrimp
soup.
sandwich.
Again,
Shrimp kebab.
again, borderline
shrimp
salad.
salad.
But I wouldn't do it.
What are you talking about? It's
That's
exact,
about all I
it's
have
the
for that.
exact,
It's the
right from-
fucking exact fucking thing.
I can do Forrest.
Mr. PC.
I mean, you do
over
far.
here.
I'll be Bubba. You be Forrest.
Gotta go find Bubba.
Oh, no.
Why the fuck
I'm
did
right
you
here,
scream that?
Forrest.
Jenny.
Hey,
Jenny.
Forrest, I'm over here, Forrest.
I may not be a smart man.
I am not
but
a
I
smart
You're
know
man.
so
what
smart.
love
You're
is.
so smart. Don't say you're not so smart.
I think when you get a really good impersonator that can really do it, it's really something to see. Because just
That's a good Bubba.
just a
That's a good. That's
It
a
was
good
pretty
Tom
good.
Hanks.
Chris,
pretty
Chris,
good.
that's an
Yeah, that
excellent
was-
Bubba.
I also have a good Ving Rhames.
we finally found a talent of yours.
He does. Listen to this.
That motherfucker go to Indochina.
No, I'm not feeling
Yes.
it. I'm not feeling that.
Let him
I
finish
don't want
it.
to say the N word. Jump
Don't.
out of a bowl of rice.
Don't.
No, he doesn't say. He
Capping.
doesn't say the N-word.
I think he does.
Yeah,
No, he doesn't.
he
I
does.
think he does.
I think you want to add it there.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know your movie quotes?
I apologize. Yeah, actually, I do.
That,
you know what?
motherfucker go to Indochina.
I got some movie quotes too, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Oh!
I got this.
Bam.
Don't look.
Yeah, you can look.
I can look. Okay.
It's the top 100 movie quotes, but they're not all great.
They're not movie quotes. They're movie taglines.
Yeah, some of them.
No, they're movie quotes.
Some of them
movie
actually
quotes.
suck.
Yeah, some of them suck, but there's like 100 of them, and there's got to be some good ones. You got to say it in the voice though, or try to.
What we got here is failure to communicate.
Guns N' Roses Civil War.
Yeah.
My hands are
Cool hand.
What's the movie?
Fuck Axl Rose. Cool
What's the movie?
Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah, he didn't guess the movie.
Some
He's guessing
man
the.
you just can't reach.
Wait,
And then we get what we had here,
Use your illusion.
which is the way
Get
he
your
wants it.
volume
Get
two.
your
So
stinking
he gets it.
paws
so-
off me, you damn dirty ape.
I could do an Axl Rose actually.
So
What did I just do?
I don't know.
Say it one more time,
Charlton
Chris.
Heston. The
Thank you. Get your stinking dirty paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
I can do Axl Rose. Thought I'd put that out there.
So who? How about this one? All the gin joints in all the town and all the world, she walks into mine.
Casablanca.
Okay, yeah,
It's such a good
Casablanca.
movie.
I know it is.
I watched that one 1,000 times.
I love that movie.
I live for noir.
Most of
movies,
these movies on the list I've seen.
And you know who's very under
Say
under?
hello to my little friend.
Come on, Pacino.
Oh, what's the movie?
Scarface.
All right, that's what the game we're playing right now. You're trying to go on a pontification.
Claude Rains was so good.
I like
in
Jean-Claude
Casablanca.
Van Rames. He's fucking awesome.
Jean-Claude Van
You
All
like
right,
that?
who's
I
Hold
like
on,
that
hold on,
one.
real
Bullet,
fast.
Bullet.
Yesterday,
I like that one.
Bullet posted a picture of a girl who had really hairy eyebrows and kind of looked like Nicolas Cage. And what was the thing that you said underneath it?
Nicolas Cage can pull off any role.
Yeah. So I respond, yeah, she's cute, but she'll be gone in 60 seconds.
Aw.
And he
I
never
said
even
that.
fucking responds.
I did. I hit send. I'm sorry. I was busy working while you were sitting at a food court.
But you said you
stealing
typed something
company
up.
time.
You said you typed something up.
Probably.
You had typed
Yeah,
something
that's why
up.
You're laughing. You're laughing because you know it's true.
Bullet typed something up,
See, he's not even gonna acknowledge
and he
it.
never sent it.
You're not even gonna-
You had something about the other movie he was in.
leaving Las Vegas.
You typed a message back. You said you didn't send it.
Oh, I
So
said
you had
I
time
sa-
to type it.
I
You're
s-
trying to be
I
cool.
said she would leave you moonstruck. Snap out
I
of
wish
it.
that would have kept going.
Yeah.
I'm very disappointed. You know
Somebody
what?
did. I think
Post it. Somebody on Facebook did it.
Here's the thing. A lot of people hate on Nicolas Cage. That man is a national treasure.
Because he sucks.
Oh,
You see what I did there?
I saw it.
You see?
Came a mile away.
And if you don't like Nicolas Cage movies, fuck you.
Toga.
Think of all the great movies he's been in.
Toga.
Adaptation.
Toga.
No, one. Leaving Las Vegas.
Adaptation was good.
He's doing his
Adaptation
thing.
Blue.
Yeah, he's
Animal House.
yeah.
Adaptation.
He got away from the game.
Blue. Go on.
Face Off.
Sucked.
Con Air.
Con
It was
Air.
okay,
Con
but
Air's okay.
Malkovich made it.
The Rock.
What's the one where he plays the two brothers that are twins and one's a writer?
Adaptation.
That one's fucked up.
Yeah,
I
that
like
was written
that
by
one.
Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah. So you haven't read anything off your list yet.
Okay, I'll do one.
You're too busy
Come on.
standing on your little box
Here we go.
over there.
Worrying about Jocko.
Worrying about who's Jocko?
I don't know.
He's a.
It doesn't
I
matter.
was hoping you could tell me.
It doesn't matter.
Bullet, you're up.
Bullet and go to Bullet.
Show me the money.
Tom Cruise.
I said, show me the
You
money.
can pick whatever you want and you go Jerry Maguire.
You know what? I'll go next.
He's got his
I'll
list
go
in
next.
front of him.
Go, Todd.
You got to
this,
do it in
Todd.
the voice, though, Todd.
You had me at hello.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that was yours next.
I followed up with that.
The estrogen is flowing. Come on, man.
the Cinderella story. Out of nowhere, former greenskeeper. Now to become the master champion.
Oh, I got-
Caddyshack.
It's like a miracle.
Caddyshack.
It's the whole.
I
It's
got
the
the
whole
best-
one.
I got-
It's the whole.
I got the best quote. I got the best one out of all these.
Was that a good one?
That was a good one.
I got the best one out of all
Except
the movie
it's,
quotes.
It's not your turn.
It's not your turn. It's friend
It's friend
Martin's
Martin's.
turn.
Friend Martin.
Martin.
Hey.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender.
De Niro.
I
Raging
could have been
Bull.
somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am.
Did make the De Niro face too.
That was actually,
Yeah, I said make the De Niro face. He did this.
I thought he
His
had
eyes rolled back
I
in
thought he
his
had
head
an
for a
aneurysm. I thought he
second.
had an aneurysm.
I did. It's cool though. I'm good.
The best.
That was Brando.
Who needs an extra page?
best movie quote of all time.
on the
What is it-
waterfront.
What is it?
Ready?
Oh, yeah, he said it was.
He said, I know he was
Raging Bull.
totally wrong.
Yeah, it was.
I said it.
You were both wrong. It was fucking Marlon Brando. You're taking a shot at me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I didn't say anything
Somebody
about who it
said
was.
you
I
said
just
Raging
asked if
Bull.
you could do the De Niro face.
The best.
But now that I realized it was not De Niro, the face you had was perfect.
The aneurysm face.
Okay.
That's why he just he just had reset real fast because he's like, this dude's saying this to me, not
Call
realizing I'm the one that's
Call
totally off.
911.
I'm the one that's totally off.
I've got the two best movie quotes. Ready? You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Jaws.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
And here's the best one. No wire hangers
Oh,
ever.
Mommy Dearest. What the fuck was her name? Is it Dunaway? What the hell? Who
Faye
played?
Dunaway.
Is that who played her?
I think so.
Played Joan
Yes.
Crawford.
And the best part is she really thought that movie was gonna do good. You cannot ask her about that in any.
You know how
interview.
fucked up I was as a kid. I was rooting for the abusive mom
So was I.
when she was hitting the kids.
You guys don't know how well you have it.
I just didn't.
Is it
use-
my turn?
I think it's my turn.
When Mama told me
Which one
not
did
to
you
use
just
wire
read?
hangers,
I
I
didn't.
didn't
He just
use
read.
any fucking
okay.
wire hangers. Just saying.
Houston, we have a problem.
Tom Hanks.
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13. Yeah, that's good. That wasn't bad.
I feel like I should just be running around crazy. Like, I feel the need. The need.
Tom Cruise,
The
Top
speed.
Gun.
Days of Thunder.
No,
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
I don't know that.
Tom Cruise movie.
What's the song that they all sing? You lost that love and feeling. We should do that song.
Did
just
you
a-
know that Top
you
Gun?
lost that love and feeling. Oh, low. Hello, hello.
Again,
What were you gonna say?
Top Gun was the actual first homosexual romance movie that.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, with him and Goose. You don't talk about Goose like that.
Him and Iceman.
Goose is dead. No, that was.
I'm buying that. I'll buy that.
Him and
No.
Iceman.
Yeah, there was something going on between those two guys.
They were
especially
definitely-
in the shower.
They were definitely fucking.
Shit.
You're not gonna kill that.
I think Iceman killed Goose to get closer to Maverick. That's my theory.
All right, who's
And
up?
well, hold on. Honestly, just real quick. When I got fucked up, I fell off a ladder. I had to hit the eject button. I was like, it was like Goose or Maverick, Goose or Maverick, Goose or Maverick. And I dropped off the ladder and I hit the ground fucking hard. I was like, Goose. And I got fucked up.
And for the record, when we used to do jujitsu, I completely believe that he's saying that.
Because I would
Because
yell out.
he would
things.
yell out, Brock Lesnar, and go in for a shot.
I believe in visualization. And if I yell Brock
He
Lesnar,
also believes on the dudes sprawling and not getting the takedown.
Is it my turn or Martin's turn?
Who knocked out who on the last time we?
anybody
It's
can
Martin's turn?
hold on.
Just saying.
Anybody that
Martin.
ever
There we go.
rolled with me in jiu-jitsu can attest to this. I did this with everybody, including Wilson. Never did it with Popo, but I'd be like, "Oh man, watch your back for a second."
Yeah, he
and
did
as
that to me
soon as you would look,
100,000 times.
I would fucking charge the shit out of you and yell Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, it's very awkward. And he would have his pants down, which made it even weirder.
Right.
Camera's on you, Martin.
And when-
Martin. You got one?
Yes. A sensor taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins.
Toddy.
I feel like I didn't do that good though.
Try it again. Give it another shot. And
Go.
action.
A census taker once tried to test me.
Cut. Bullet. Can you talk to him about his lines? Talk to him for 1 sec. Kind of get in his head here.
I'll do it right now.
Help him out. No, give him his lines back. Tell him what he's got to say.
Get in my head.
The motivation for this character, I can't even see. Okay, here. The motivation. Let me do it for you. The motivation for this character is: this is a guy who's been locked up. He's been caged. He's
feel
highly
it?
intelligent.
You feel it?
Listen to this. A census taker tried once to test me. I ate his liver beans with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
And that's your line. And go.
Go.
And Martin, take 3.
A census taker once.
Cut.
Hold on. Let me help him out with his lines
So,
for a second.
wait a minute. Who was Jocko again?
It doesn't matter.
Jocko was the greatest bass player of all time.
Maybe, but isn't that like kind of like saying somebody's like the tallest midget of all time? Like, okay, but he's still a fucking midget, right?
Where's the sheet of paper that you had? Ah.
Come on, that deserves something.
Martin.
I see what you're trying to do,
So
and
Martin,
I'm not gonna fall for it.
You know you will, so just fall for it now and save us all a lot of time.
You dirty cunt.
the feeling you're going for.
There you go.
The feeling you're going for is a man who's been in prison for a while, right?
Like married?
No. Yeah, somewhere.
Yes,
That's more of a lead weight around your ankles and you're hanging at the bottom of a pool.
Right.
He's basically a guy that's living with his own ghosts.
He's got demons.
And while we're talking about the subject of ghosts,
He's got demons.
while we're talking,
Hold on, real quick. We're gonna be calling Bullet's brother in a second. We're gonna finish this one though. You do the thing. You do your intro, and then I'll do my part. Where you're talking about him real fast.
Go ahead, do it.
One intro.
You were starting to do it a second ago, and then you kept switching back and forth. A man locked in a prison for years releases his feelings, and his name is Martin.
You didn't even.
Although the greatest quote of that movie was, "He said he could smell your cunt. I, however, cannot." I was like, "That's someone wrote that."
And you do a really good Anthony Hopkins, and you said earlier, I don't have anybody. I haven't got anybody.
The only people I really do are Ric Flair.
No, you
No,
really
no,
do
you just-
every
you
person
just-
you just did, like 6 of them. Right, Martin?
Here's the thing, though. I've got
Right.
10 personalities in my head.
We're trying to keep
So it's
Martin
like-
in character.
I'm sorry, brother. Sorry. Go.
But you have a bunch of sweet ones. You need to let them out
Yes.
more. Godfather is my favorite.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
You're getting there, but you're not just there.
I'm not feeling it. Can you just...
Well, the problem is when I ate somebody's liver, I don't dig fava beans. You know, so
Add the,
right there.
add the
your-
food of your choice
Your question
at the end.
Right.
Do it again. And again. And Martin, take
10.
10.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some spam. It's a nice Pabst Blue Ribbon.
It felt more natural, I'm not going to lie.
Well, because I went white trash, which is what I am.
It was good. Martin, do you believe in ghosts?
I like a nice
Yes,
Chianti
I do.
myself because it really goes well with my mouth.
You know, a fucking Chianti's not
So
fucking
anyway,
bad. I like a good Chianti.
a couple weeks ago,
I'm working on it.
When your vaginitis is flaring up, a Chianti does.
A couple weeks ago, my brother from Georgia was watching the show and listening, and I just threw out there that he's like a very well known paranormal investigator, ghost hunter, if you will. We don't really talk about it much because he's my brother. Like we don't talk about that stuff.
Like what? Just real quick on that statement. Why don't you talk to your brother about the stuff he likes?
Because I'm a guy and we're brothers and we just don't talk about
Like that dude
stuff.
over there? I know that dude inside and out. And
I bet you do.
just from the back. But
I only know the inside. I don't know the out. Just saying.
but I know everything about him. Like we talk about everything. And my older brother, He's probably similar to what you're talking about there. Like we try to connect.
Let me tell you, I would kill to have a brother. I got 2 sisters, and they don't talk about shit.
You know what? We're gonna be your brothers.
We're gonna be your brothers.
All right, man.
Like in The Shield.
Yeah.
Let's put them all in.
Believe in the shield.
So anyway, we're gonna call my brother.
Is he older or younger?
He's older.
Okay. It's Bob.
Yeah. And
Do we call him Mr. Honeycutt?
I would prefer that you do.
Okay.
So we're gonna call him right now.
I shall speak to him as such.
Hopefully, we can get him on here.
Did we ask Bullet? Did Robert live around here?
No, he lives in Georgia.
I know.
Is
he
it
lives there
Robert
now.
or Bob?
Call him whatever. Call him
I
Mr.
can't hear him. You need a
Honeycutt.
little more
But
volume
did he
for him.
ever live around here?
No.
Oh.
Hey, Bob, what's going on?
What's going on, bud?
Nothing much. We got to turn you up here. We can barely hear you. Hold on for a sec. How about now? Can you hear us now?
Sounds good.
All right. There we go. So on the phone.
Bob or Robert, do you like to be called Mr. Honeycutt or Rob?
Well, no. I still turn around and look for my dad. When somebody says
Bullet just told me to call you Mr. Honeycutt.
I said
That's okay.
call him sir.
Sir, do you mind if I call you
Call me.
Mr. Honeycutt?
You can call me Bob or Bobby.
All
Just
right,
don't
cool.
call me late for dinner.
He's got a southern accent. Like Bullet's been professing to us for weeks, Bob, and we're gonna talk to Bob before Bullet starts talking to you, because Bullet has a cowboy hat he wears sometimes, and sometimes he'll have the full boots on, and
Yeah, I got him on now.
and assless chaps and all kinds of other stuff.
I don't have the assless chaps.
I have ass full chaps.
And we'll say to him, we're like, Bullet, like, how do you associate with being a cowboy? And he's like, well, I got a lot of family in the South.
Yes, I do.
That's
Do
true.
you have a cowboy hat?
Do I have a cowboy
Yeah.
hat? No.
Okay,
no,
so Bullet
Ian.
wears one more than you do, bro.
Here's the thing.
I'm just getting clarification. I like Bob already.
Here's the thing. I think it looks good. And the boots I like to wear because they look good and they help my ankle with stability.
Are they special support boots?
Yes, they are.
Support cowboy boots?
I know you've got some boots, Bob.
I think Medicare covers
Of
that.
course I do.
Yes, exactly.
See, I believe Bob has cowboy boots, and I bet Bob's got some good buckles too. But
No.
you don't have the
no
buckles because
buckles.
Bullet prides himself on the buckles. I got a couple good buckles too.
My buckle has a big old H on it for honeycomb.
Yeah, it's
right
a
on
pretty
the
cool
front.
bucket. You know what? You should make a duplicate, send it to Bob.
I'll give him
I,
one.
It's
I
pretty
don't
cool.
want to take any attention away from anything else in the area with me.
So I was saying a couple weeks ago, I was like, yeah, like, you know, my brother's like big into ghost hunting and paranormal investigation.
Which,
all.
for the record, Bob,
Nobody believed me.
caught us off guard because I've been doing this show with your brother for 6 years, and he's never mentioned anything about ghosts.
But they've never asked.
yeah,
Well, that's true. And you know, it's one of those things where, you know, people, when they hear about it or hear something, they're going to ask. And it's not something that I normally, you know, just break out into with anybody and everybody, not even family. Because, you know, still, even though I've been doing this for 30 some odd years, people still look at you like, have you lost your damn mind?
Well, I used to be like that when I was younger, and I told a story on the show last week. I don't know if you watched it, but the day my grandmother died, I didn't go to the hospital to say goodbye to her. So somewhere in the middle of the night, she laid down in bed with me, and I felt and had a full conversation with her. And when I woke up, I didn't like. I never really believed in ghosts before that. Like, it was never like something that really kind of like popped into my head. But I woke up and I said, "Hey, my mom was devastated that her grandmother died last night, or her mom."
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, I didn't even hesitate. I'm like, I spoke with grandma last night. She laid down in bed with me. I told her the whole story. My mom's like, that's the greatest thing I've ever heard." And after that, I'm like, you know what? All this stuff I hear, you got to believe some of it.
Yeah. I mean, what are some of the most common misconceptions when someone finds out that you do paranormal investigation, or for lack of a better term, like ghost hunting? Like, what are the big common misconceptions? Because unfortunately, everybody seems to have that, you know, that vision of like all the TV stuff, which we've talked many times, and 99% of that stuff is all BS. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what's the
anything you
show
see
is-
on television, you know, it's like any other show. Just take it with a grain of salt. Pay attention to half of that and only believe a fifth of what you hear. Anybody that tells you that it's reality television, it's all scripted. I don't care what anybody says.
So what if, say, like you get a report like, hey, do you want to check out a site or something like that? What is a common, like, what is a I hate to say like typical thing, but what would you say would be a typical investigation or into a site or a case?
Well, it depends. I mean, because for so long I worked such a wide variety and worked all over the country with them. You can get them where, they're hearing sounds, footsteps at night, smells, voices. You can have them where, they hear things slamming in the kitchen, doors opening and closing. You even have them where they're physically touched or contacted. So, nothing about any case is really what I would describe as typical. And each one, even though similar, is unique in of itself. But 9 times out of 10, the common denominator, the first thing that's going to come out of their mouth is, "I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but." So,
real quick question, like you said you've been doing it for 30 years. How did you decide, or how did other people decide that you knew what you were talking about, or what convinced you that, like, your first experience to say, "Hey, you know what? I've seen something. Now I know what I'm looking for."
Yeah. Well, it was in 1976 when we were living in Arizona, and we were taking part in the bicentennial thing at the local theater, and I was one of the extras. And
wait, you said you're an extra, so you're like an actor?
This was like right out of school into college, so we did a lot of stuff just to have fun.
Okay.
And they were doing The Devil's Disciple for the bicentennial.
That sounds scary.
And I actually got to be the hangman.
George Bernard
Shaw.
Shaw.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't mean to cut you off, man, but I just have to say one of my crowning achievements was playing Richard Dudgeon in The Devil's Disciple in high school.
Oh shit!
Yes.
So we got 2 guys in the room that fucking played the same part.
Look how excited he is.
That's awesome.
I am excited. Love you, brother. Keep going.
But I obviously don't know the play. But between the 2 of yous, apparently this is like a powerful character. I'm feeling like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So continue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
Bob.
during the final dress rehearsal, I ended up being one of the last ones to go back, taking my costume back to wardrobe. And when I walked in the room, there was an older woman sitting at a table sewing. And I didn't really pay any attention. I set it down, turned around to walk off, and then remembered that I had torn a button and turned right back around to tell her, and the woman was gone.
Oh, fuck. You just gave me, like, my hair stood up on my neck on that.
Yeah. I mean, this woman was just, it looked as solid and as real as anybody or anything I'd ever seen. And, the room was a good sized room, but there was only one door in or out, and there was clothes racks everywhere. So, of course, I'm walking around the room trying to figure out where the hell she went. And, some of the theater employees came down and wanted to know why I was still there. And when I told them, one of them started to laugh and said, "Oh, you've seen the theater ghost." And the story they gave me was that it was someone who apparently had worked there, years and years before. And she loved her job so much she stuck around, and I was hooked. I was absolutely hooked.
So
I mean, it blew my mind.
So you've seen like a wide variety of things, and I think that when people hear paranormal, they tend to lump all different kinds of things together with that. That if you're investigating ghosts, then that must mean that you're buying into all of these possible things, such as UFOs or things like that. What is your opinion, if you can give one? Like, we all know, I guess, scientifically, energy doesn't disappear; it just kind of transforms and all. You can't get rid of it. Would you say, in your opinion, without getting too esoteric or religious, would you say that it's just, maybe like residue energy? Like, what do you believe a ghost is, if you could break it down scientifically?
Well, there's so many different types of hauntings. I mean, you've got what they would call a residual haunting, which is more or less like an imprint on the environment.
Okay.
It's something that plays over and over and over again. There's no interaction. There's no intelligence, no communication.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have what I consider most people call human spirits, which for one reason or other, they've decided that they're not ready to move on, whether they enjoyed life or had unfinished business.
Yeah.
Then you have things like what he was describing, death omens.
Yeah.
When people come to you,
Is that what
clearly
that's called? A
before
death omen?
Yeah.
a death omen.
Is
Yeah.
that bad? An omen sounds bad.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah.
creepy.
Not at all.
If you combine the words death and omen, I think I'd rather be in the next room.
But it was
thinking-
like 20 some years ago, so I think I'm okay at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Bob, you scared the shit out of me for a second, like literally.
Oh, sorry about that. But the ones that are really scary are the malevolent, or what typically is called a demonic haunting.
Is that like a
And-
poltergeist?
No.
Well, poltergeist, depending on who you talk to, a poltergeist is typically described as psychokinetic energy that's usually put forth by a prepubescent teenager. Then you have other people that will tell you that it's an actual type of spirit haunting. But in my experience and what I tend to believe is that it is a manifestation of psychokinetic energy produced from something.
Yeah, because we already know that if you put out a negative frame of mind, you're going to attract negativity, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you obviously, if you have someone that's stewing in a room with a lot of negativity, like as you said before, that's going to leave an imprint of some type.
Yes, it can, absolutely.
Yes.
But then on the far end of the spectrum, there are actual documented cases of demonic hauntings, which pretty much is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Not getting into the religious aspect of it, but I'm Catholic, so a lot of this I've seen firsthand, and once you've experienced that deep end of the pool, you're never quite the same again. That's probably why I'm a little touched.
Does that stuff still scare the shit out of you? Like when like you see something different from what you've seen before? Does it like how do you react to this stuff? I mean, that's something you're obviously doing as a profession, but so you enjoy part of it, but at the same time, I would think some of that would scare the crap out of you.
Oh, absolutely. Anybody that does this at all and tells you that they never get scared or have never been scared is either a fool or an absolute liar. Fear is a physiologic response to stimulus. It's ingrained in every human being. What you have to learn to do is control your reaction. Now, like you see on television and movies, you see them go running out of the building, screaming and hollering. We've never done that. If something happens, we run at it instead of running away from it, because you're there to try to document it. And how you going to document it if you're trying to run? So I've seen things.
So that's a battle right there all on its own.
Yeah.
Like just fucking trying to lock your body down and keep doing what you're supposed to be doing to work your way through it.
Can Robert, is there a particular thing that happened that freaked you out most of all?
Yeah, I can honestly say we had worked a case in North Georgia in a little city called Dallas, Georgia. And the woman had described over a period of weeks physical contact and being molested in the bed while she slept. Wow. So I'm there with a priest and we're sitting in the living room. It's like 2:00 in the morning, pitch black dark, and you hear her call out, "It's touching my leg." So we walk
So wait,
into
you're
the
in the
bedroom.
other room?
Yeah, we're in the next room. We get up, we walk into the room, and she shows us her leg, and you can actually see what looks like indentations being made in her calf muscle. And
something's
she says,
grabbing
"It's
it?"
touching me." Yeah, like something's touching it.
But you're watching like it looks like somebody's physically doing it while you're sitting there
Yes.
watching it.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So I'm bending over to take a photograph of it, and that's when something grabbed me.
Something grabbed you.
And, yes, and I stood up. I didn't say anything. I didn't react. I simply walked out of the building, walked outside, and lit up a cigarette.
Yeah, I would.
And in a few minutes, the priest came out and wanted to know what happened. And I said, "Well, it grabbed me." "Well, where did it grab you?" Well, Kevin will tell you, he's Catholic also. There's just
Yeah,
some
I'm
words
Catholic
you
as
just
well.
don't use to a priest. So I said, well, it grabbed me here. Where? It grabbed me by the boo boo.
Is that what that's called in the Honeycutt family? It's the boo boo.
We call it the business end. We call it the business end of the thing. The
Or-
boo boo. I'm going to use that one.
My little friend.
So the priest, doing what he would normally do, he takes out his little vial of holy water and sprinkles me. Well, now he sprinkled me on my pants. So now I look like I've peed myself.
Oh, shit.
So, it was adding insult to injury, but it helped calm the situation down enough to where we went back inside and finished up for the night. But, that was a weird sensation. It wasn't the idea of being touched. It wasn't the idea of being shoved. It was something that physically grabbed and squeezed.
Something from another plane touched you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no doubt. I mean, I've bumped into things. I've even had my legs knocked out from under me, but this was the first
You've
time.
had your legs
something-
knocked out from you, like you're just standing there and you feel like something just took you down.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like whoop.
Well, I think also the other danger is, it's kind of like, it reminds me of that Nietzsche quote, don't stare into the abyss because it stares back.
Back. It stares back, absolutely.
It
And
stares
you have
back.
to be very careful.
Can I ask you a question though?
Please.
Yeah.
For the record, Bob, Bullet's getting mad at us for interrupting you, but we're fully engaged in what you're saying, and we're
Absolutely.
absolutely 100% interested in what you have to say. So he's getting mad that we're like trying to ask you questions while you're talking.
Yeah, I just don't want them to disrespect you and
no,
talk over
absolutely
you.
not.
It's cool.
This is the greatest thing ever. I fucking love
Why
it.
would we disrespect? Have I ever disrespected?
I'm not even joking. This is fun.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Dude, you know, why you fucking do this?
I'm not gonna give a whole lot of my background into whatever. It doesn't matter. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But isn't it possible that some of that, as far as it is interpreting it as malevolent, isn't that possible that some of that is coming from your innate Catholicism?
At one point I considered that and I wondered, but then as time went on and the experience began to build, you begin to realize that there are certain things that react to things that you say and do.
True.
Some people call it religious provocation.
Right.
If you're recording or videotaping and someone uses religious provocation and you get an actual audio response or a physical response by something moving in the room, at that point, to me, that's pretty much saying, okay, that's a positive reaction. It wasn't
Agreed.
just something. Yeah. And you have to understand too that part of what a real investigator is going to do is go in and try to rule out natural causes. There's so many things. You can't just walk into a house one time like they do on TV and tell them, yeah, it is or it isn't haunted. Sometimes it takes weeks or months, depending on what you're dealing with.
No, true.
So you would say more often than not, you're ruling out supernatural causes for something maybe that it's psychosomatic or just some kind of a natural cause. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a questionnaire that we always ask. And of course, people's natural reaction is they want to put their best foot forward. They want to project the best possible image of themselves. And they'll deny stuff left and right, which is human nature. But then, start noticing as you're walking through the house, or you go look in the medicine cabinet when you go to the bathroom. That's something I do quite often. And look and see. And if you start seeing a bunch of, medications for people with mental disorders, then you have to start putting that in the equation.
Sure.
They may not.
When you see
they
stuff
may
like
not-
that, do you kind of be like, all right, I don't want to take this person's money. I should just find a way
Well, I
out of
don't
this?
take money.
Oh,
We don't
okay.
ever take money. I would never charge.
Good for
The only thing I've ever done at a few times was asked for, travel expenses. But other than that,
That's fair enough, though, if somebody's going to ask you to come out to them.
That's pretty much my entire pro wrestling career right there. I never got paid, but I got road expenses.
But who is
Yeah.
Jocko?
Yeah, okay.
But Bob, like, do you have a crew of dudes that you do all this stuff with? Like, it doesn't sound like a one-man job.
No. At one time, I had a good-sized team. Last year, I pretty much disbanded. At one time, we were like the third group in the state, and now there's so many groups running around out here. You've got a bunch of yahoos, that don't know their head from their ass. And after a while, it starts trickling down.
Right.
People don't want to deal with you because of bad experiences they've had with other groups.
Yeah, because they just lump everybody together at that point.
I think that's any profession, like completely unrelated, but for a little bit of time there, like the tattoo industry, there was a big boom with all the reality shows of tattoo shops.
Oh yeah.
And you had tattoo shops just sprouting up everywhere. And then you had these guys that were just untrained, unprofessional and whatnot. And then unfortunately, because they claim that they're in your profession or whatnot, they kind of give everybody else a bad name. So now they have a negative experience with it, when you have a lot of guys that have paid their dues, paved the way, been there, not looking for the TV exposure and all, because just in our own private talks, I know that, you've been kind of critical of that, because at the end of the day, very rarely is this stuff sensational. It's usually a lot of procedure, a lot of ruling out, like you said earlier. But these guys have to sell a TV show. So they have to make it interesting. They have to make it sensational. So they're going to cut corners. They're going to embellish certain things, shall we say?
Because there's fees involved with everything they do.
Sure. I mean, we see it even with the stuff that we cover, like with MMA.
Would you go on a ghost hunt with Bob?
Well, we've talked.
Part of me's kind of scared. Like,
we've talked
with.
I've talked with Bob many times.
Love to.
I am not at all comfortable with supernatural stuff. Like if I hear a weird noise in the middle of the night,
it could be you farting.
Okay.
You're like, what the fuck is that?
No, this is a true story. I've woken up many times. I'm like, I gotta pee, and I'm like, I'll hear a weird noise. I'm like, I'll hold it.
Maybe they'll go away.
Like I have a subscription. I have a subscription to Shudder.
American Pussy Magazine.
No, for real. which is like a horror movie thing. And all these movies freak me out. Do we have any questions on the chat for Bob?
No, I think everybody's been listening.
Bob, let me say one thing, buddy. If you ever need somebody to go in with you who's not afraid of the demonic shit, give me a call.
He's in your corner.
I eat it for breakfast.
Hey, Bob, I got a question for you. Is there anything in Pennsylvania that you've heard of that would not too far from us that we could maybe go see?
Maybe we get Bob up here to take us somewhere.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be going down to Georgia pretty soon, hopefully, to see my family.
Not
So
Georgia.
Don't take this away from us, Bullet.
I'm sorry.
Bob's our new
Get
friend.
Bob up
You're going to
here.
fucking take Bob away from us now?
I know.
Fuck you.
I know. Bob has supplanted you as the premier honeycut, so step aside,
Yeah,
son.
Bob is the premier honeycut. He's the
Yes.
PH.
Yes.
He's the PH.
You're yesterday's news, dude.
Well,
Bob,
let me just say this.
In the last year, real quick, what unscrambled your brain or scrambled your brain and said, like, what the fuck did I just see? Like, you told us in one story, but I'm talking
This
about like
podcast.
something recently where you were just like, I don't know what I saw, and then, like, I got to connect with other people that might have experienced the same.
Well, now there was. It's been about 3 years ago now. I was at the Waverly Hills Sanitarium with some team members, and this is in Louisville, Kentucky. That's been featured on all the television shows. And we were on the third floor, and we were completely isolated. We were by ourselves. The other groups were off on their own, and we're wandering. And this, you have to remember that this is a building with no electricity, and you're walking down a hallway with no windows.
Wow.
And there are exit lights, to where, if you have to get out of there. And after a few minutes, your eyes begin to get used to the light, and you get a better feel, and you can see shapes and movement. And probably about 15 feet in front of us, we saw what looked like a woman come walking out of one of the rooms.
Oh, damn it.
And the first thing that we questioned was who is this person, and why is she up here with no flashlight, no cameras, no nothing?
So real quick,
And-
this is a sanitarium where like crazy people were.
No, this was a tuberculosis hospital.
Oh, okay. And you just see this girl just walk out of a room?
Just walk out of the room into the hallway.
Is there eye contact? Like, does this person turn and look at you? Oh,
oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're looking straight in her face. And, maybe 5 seconds, she turns around and walks back. Well, we look at each other and we just go straight into the room. And, you're on the 3rd floor. There's no open windows, no doors into any other rooms. There's nobody there.
How many people are in your group that saw the same person?
Well, there was just one other person there with me.
But you both saw the exact same thing.
Yeah, we both saw the exact same thing. And, we had such a good time with it that we even had some T-shirts made up that said, "Dude, did you see that?" So,
dude, did you see what I just saw? What? Dude, did you see it? That's awesome.
But you have little experiences, like at Brunel University, we were at their theater several times, and you're sitting in the main part of the theater, and all of a sudden you start hearing whispering up in the balcony, and you go up to the balcony and it's silent, and then next thing you know, you hear whispering down in the main part, or whistles, or you hear things being pushed or shoved. So sometimes it's very subtle. I always tell people it's like going fishing. You have to be very quiet, very patient, and be very still. That's what aggravates me so much about these television shows, because they're running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off. So how do they see or hear anything?
I got to be honest, though. I mean, I've never gone fishing that a fish grabbed me on the dick and had a priest.
Oh, I have. I've had that many times.
Chris forced that fish, though?
Yeah, that fish did not appreciate what I was doing to it.
Do we have any questions from the audience?
No, I think everybody's listening to him.
But dude, I got a bunch of texts on your brother already. Like,
he never answered my question about, is there anything up in Pennsylvania that would be something
I'm
cool
sure
for us,
there is.
but not that you're aware
there is.
But something maybe we can experience together.
There is.
Well, probably the best thing to do, and I know several investigators up there. I'll send you some information.
That would be
how to get in
awesome.
contact with them.
Because we're starting to take our show on the road, Bob.
Yeah.
And to watch Bullet try to run is fucking going to be the greatest thing ever.
I always tell people this. If you see me running, run for your life, because there's some serious shit coming from behind. There's some serious shit coming.
99% of the stuff that gets thrown at your brother, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna run." But if he's running, it's that 1%. It's like you fucking better go.
Do you know how in like every horror or action movie, there's the one guy who just silently accepts his fate, who's just like closes the eyes, like, "Bring it." That's me. I ain't outrunning you. At least I want to die with some dignity, because I can't run.
You look it in the eyes. You say, "You know what?
Call that dignity?
It's time for me to go."
Well, whatever dignity I could have. But
well, see, what I always tell people is you don't have to worry about being the fastest to get out of the building. If you see me run, you just have to be able to outrun me.
So don't be the slowest. Don't be the slowest.
That's not a challenge for anybody in this room. Because I'm rocking a cane today because my ankle is a little screwed up from all the work in the elliptical machine.
I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed having your brother on the show.
My brother's awesome, man.
He is fucking awesome, man. Which means you're probably adopted, right? Or something like that.
You're not so awesome.
I've got some comments that people aren't going to be able to sleep tonight.
Oh my God,
you're just average.
Like
buddy.
Bullet was literally getting mad at me for asking a bunch of questions. He's like, "Just let my brother talk." I'm like, I'm fucking interested in what this dude's saying. I have a lot of fucking questions.
We gotta have a code name. We gotta have a code name for my brother. So what would it be like if we're gonna have you on the show? Like, what would it be? Because Halloween's coming up. We gotta have you back on. We know the whole entire family, hopefully from Georgia, is going to be watching and listening and whatnot. And
a lot of questions up there.
There's a good question.
Okay, what's the question?
Somebody asked. We've asked you about scary things. Has there anything that's been funny that has happened during one of these
a
things?
ghost farting, like something like that? Like, that would be cool. Like, oh, that ghost farted. It's so cute.
Yeah, but if it was something like that, I guarantee you it was one of the team members.
Blaming it on a ghost.
Have you ever had a happy experience, like where it was a loved one trying to reach out to somebody and somebody maybe recognized something that they did, or maybe it was somebody that was reaching out?
Now, There's an old cotton plantation in Covington, Georgia. It's called the Gathers Plantation. And
You said it was Covington, Georgia?
Oh, yeah. So, it belongs to the county now, but some of the ancestral family still lives in the area.
Gotcha.
And the great-great-granddaughter was present one evening while we had done some videoing and some audio recording. And when we played it back, you could actually hear what sounded like a female voice, a woman's voice saying, "I love you." And it was in response to a comment that she had made. So to her, it was like a message direct to her.
Yeah.
So, and there was really no way to say definitely one way or the other, whether it was or whether it wasn't.
But to them.
But to them, it was, something that was very close and very personal and was definitely an affirmation in their mind.
Yeah.
You know what somebody said his nickname should be?
What's that?
Boo.
Should we call you?
What's up, Boo?
We're only changing one letter. I mean, Boo Honeycutt, Bob Boo Honeycutt, or would it be Boo Bob?
Just Boo.
Just Boo.
What's up, Boo?
I don't know.
I like Boo. That's a cool nickname.
You know what's weird? His accent doesn't come across when he texts or types.
Yeah, he barely hear it when he is he in the chat room too at the same time?
He was earlier.
Bob, you're talking to us and chatting at the same time in the chat room?
He was earlier.
What the fuck,
I was
Bob?
earlier. I'm not now.
Boo, come on, Boo.
My brother is.
To be honest, with you, I do have an education, so just because I talk Southern, it's like Louis Grizzard used to say.
I'm not gonna lie, Bob.
God
You have been one of my most favorite people we've had on so far. I fucking totally love it.
It is a huge pet peeve of mine to dismiss people and their intelligence because they have a Southern twang to their voice.
Bullet does it because he just thinks he's smarter than everybody.
No,
that's
I don't.
his reason.
He doesn't have a Southern twang.
No, I don't.
But I will tell you this, and this is somebody who was born and raised down here and lived a good part of my life here. There are some stupid bitches.
On that
really
note,
make it tough for the rest of
they're
us,
up north too, buddy.
You can't do any better than that at the end. There.
Yeah. Well, bro, look, I'm gonna give you a call on the drive home.
Bob, I'd love to have you on. It was fucking awesome. We're having you on a million more times.
I will give you a call on the drive home, but we must have you on.
Don't cut him off yet.
Anytime.
If you need somebody to eat the negative shit.
Martin's a negative eater, I guess.
You don't even know.
All right, brother. I'll give you a call on the way home, and please tell everybody in the family that I am planning to come down before Christmas to say hello to everybody.
Thank you so much, Bob. It
He's
was
lying.
awesome
Bob.
having
You
you
know
on.
that. You know that.
That was
All right,
fun.
buddy. I'll take care.
And
All right, brother.
guys, catch us at XCC 29.
Hold on, we're not ending it now.
why
We're
are
just
we
saying
ending it?
goodbye to brother.
No. Say goodbye to his brother.
All right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All
I
right.
thought he was already off.
No. All right, Bob. I'll
You
give
said
you a call.
goodbye like 5 times.
I'll give you a call on the drive home, and I'll give you a call on the drive home.
All right, brother.
Bob, he'll give you a call
love
on
you,
the
big
drive
man.
home.
Hey,
right.
Bob, in case you're wondering, Bullet's going to call you on the way.
All right, love you, bro. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Dude,
Come on,
first
man.
of all, your brother was awesome.
I know he was.
Hell yeah, he was.
I told you
He had
was gonna
one
be.
job. And what did he do?
He
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
He
nailed it.
nailed the shit.
Unlike your brother.
First of all, the four of
No,
us.
don't hate on Todd.
Hold on, no.
Todd is cool.
Todd went hardcore on the mic check.
He did.
And made you two step up even higher.
He did.
Hold on.
I was already above that level, so
Hold
I just
on.
read it
He
normally.
did.
How come Todd
Ta-ta.
will never be on
We're
video?
gonna bring this.
Ta-ta-toddy.
How come?
And thanks for Martin being on the show.
Hold on. How come Todd?
I got you, bro.
How come Toddy will never be on video, but he'll be like front and center, like
Oh, yeah, he's in
wait,
every
wait,
fucking-
wait.
He's in every picture.
Seriously?
Look at me, I'm Todd. I'm
The
center.
guy who's afraid to go out of his house.
Look,
to
and he's
food
trying to
shop
ignore
is
us
a
right now.
question-
This is fucking
Hold on.
happening.
Hold on.
wait. Cut it for a minute.
It's
The-
cut, Mario.
the-
You say whatever you
The
feel.
guy who's afraid to go out of his house to shop for goddamn groceries is going to
still
judge
on?
Todd for something
Okay,
that he
fir-
feels funny about?
First off, it's not fear. It's the fact that I can't walk.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
It's that.
There's no such fucking thing. Anxiety, we all fucking got it, right?
No.
No, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Not to the level that I do.
What level? Level.
What level? What level are you?
Were you worrying about levels when you tapped me? You did more than often than not. Tap me out, right?
We do.
Hold on. Let's be serious here for a second.
Guys, I'm going to be on camera in a sec.
Todd, you push Todd to a higher level.
What? Come over here.
Dude, when you
No, I'm
read
right
that
here.
50-word thing earlier,
Todd
it
is
was
on
fucking
camera.
amazing.
Hold on.
You'll see in a sec.
Let's
I was
wait.
amazed.
Shut up. Let's wait and see if we can see Toddy on
It's like,
camera.
it's like a star shooting through the
I'm
sky.
taking this shit. I'm taking
No,
it.
you're not.
It's
I'm
mine.
not. No,
It's
don't
mine.
fight over it.
It is mine.
It's mine now.
Oh, no. Well,
I don't see you,
oh,
Todd.
he stole your
coming,
drink?
it's
You
coming.
can get it.
He stole his drink, you son
Yeah,
of a
I know.
bitch.
It's like
I'm just gonna turn all your mics off if you don't stop talking.
I'm going to
we
punch
used
you in
to
your
be-
dead
we-
foot.
yeah, right. You're not
I
getting out
call
of
it
here.
a dead foot.
Because even sober, you couldn't take any of the three of us. But drunk.
There I am.
Oh,
I'm up
Jesus.
there,
Oh,
boys.
oh,
I'm
oh.
up there,
Bullet,
boys.
Bullet.
I have a loaded gun on me. Come at me.
Boys, I'm up there.
Oh, I'm not
Well,
afraid.
hold on,
Bullet,
Bullet.
afraid of a
Bullet,
loaded
he's on
gun.
the screen. God damn it.
I don't see him.
I'm not afraid
He's
of
all the way
it.
on the
right
right.
there.
All the way on the right.
No, look.
Wait.
No, you asked for this.
I did ask for it.
Now you look. You fucking look.
Some people don't want to go behind the scenes.
Some look. Some people don't want to look. You're gonna.
Vince, fucking Martin does a great Vince McMahon. But anyway, thanks.
Great, Martin.
Because you're fired.
I'm turning the mics off. Thank you to my brother for coming on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn everybody's mics back
Hail
on.
Bob Honeycutt.
No, but I was just a little fucking weird about like you guys talking over my brother.
It's
so I
already
was
over.
Nobody was talking over your brother, dude.
It's already over. You
We
can
all-
turn that off.
Did you already hit? Did you hit it off?
No, we're live.
Oh,
we're
all right.
live.
Hold on, I
Asshole
can't get
face.
my fucking
We
headphones
all,
out of the back
we
of my
all
shirt.
dug Bob. You not so much, but Bob was awesome.
Yeah,
Look.
Bob was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm looking at the comments now, and they say you've got great biceps, but your face looks like your neck threw up.
Somebody said that about Chris.
That's funny because your fucking shoulders look like they took a shit upwards.
They said that your hairline is as regrettable as your.
Hold on, no, I'm back in it.
You know what?
They said
Oh,
your
hold on,
fucking
hold on.
super tight flannel shirt with your fucking 16 pieces of flair was way too fucking tight.
Okay,
Does he work at Chosky's?
hold
Huh?
on.
You got your flair on?
Hold on.
You want to go?
Hold on.
It's going.
Hold on. Here we go.
Huh?
Here we go.
My mic's off still.
Yeah, because
Your neck looks
because
like
we're
a
battling.
Chinese chin book or phone book. I'm sorry.
And on that note, we're ending it. Good night. Thank you for watching. And Chris is never going to get a black belt. Thank you.